There's a lot of bogus action in this movie. Like, more so than usual, even for these movies.
I'm SirDinosaur from Planet X, and now it's time for a movie review.
So we start the movie with a flashback of young Dom at a race where his dad is racing and Dom is part of his crew, and his dad crashes and burns horribly. Dang. Dom is working in the pit crew with his brother Jacob. Wait. Dom has a brother? Huh? Nah, come on. You're pulling my leg. This is the 9th movie, and now we hear about Dom having a brother? That's funny. Back in the present day, Dom and Letty are raising their kid Brian in the middle of nowhere. A car pulls up and Dom is all like, "Hey, jerkface, I'm gonna shoot you." But then Roman gets out of the car and he's like, "Wait a sec, Dom, don't shoot. It's your family." So Roman and Tej and Ramsey are all there, and they tell Dom that they got Cypher from the last movie, but Mr. Nobody's plane got attacked and landed in this country called Montequinto. So they all decide to go there and check it out. In Montequinto, they find the plane and there's part of a device thingy called Project Ares that is like this dangerous weapon or whatever. They get chased around by a lot of bad guys into an area with a lot of landmines. Then Roman gets a tank stuck between two rocks and almost gets crushed. Then they get chased around some more, but Letty loses the weapon ball Ares thing, and the present day version of Jacob Toretto shows up in the car and takes it. So Dom and Letty chase him. Then there's even more craziness and a broken bridge and helicopters shooting rockets at them. It's just kind of going on for a long time until Jacob drives his car off a cliff. And the plane flies over the car and attaches it to the bottom of the plane like a really big magnet. Then the most ridiculous stunt happens. Dom gets cornered by the helicopters with nowhere to run, so he runs into the post, gets the cable stuck on his car, then his car swings across the gap like Tarzan, hits the cliff, rolls onto the ground above the cliff, so the car rolls like 20 times, then it lands upright, and Dom and Letty are completely fine. Woof. Give me a break. Then we see another flashback of Jacob Toretto, and in present day, he's at Cypher's lair, and she says some villain stuff, and is like, "Hey, the other half of the weapon ball Ares thing is in Scotland, so you gotta go there." Team Dom goes to a safe house in the Caspian Sea for some reason, and Mia shows up because she wants to help. Ramsey gives them the spiel about how the Ares thing is like a magic hacker weapon, so they gotta keep it out of Cypher's hands. Also, apparently, Han is not dead, and he's somehow connected to all of this. So they gotta find him too. Team Dom decides to split up. Then there's another flashback where Dom realizes that Jacob sabotaged their dad's car, so he challenges his brother to a race. Dom wins, of course, and he makes Jacob leave town as a result. Dom goes and talks with his dad's old mechanic, then Mama Shaw, and he learns where Jacob is. Letty and Mia find that Han is alive since he evaded the car kaboom in Tokyo Drift like 6 movies ago, but also not that long ago since the timeline in this series is confusing. Apparently, Han is now looking after this girl named Elle, and he's also been connected with Mr. Nobody. Roman and Tej find Sean and Twinkie from Tokyo Drift and this other guy, but they're in Germany, not Tokyo for some reason, and they're trying to make a car into a rocket ship for some reason. Like, they call it a rocket car. This is a real bonehead idea, and it's kind of funny. Then it's time for the magnet stuff. Oh boy. So basically Jacob has like these uber strong magnets in this truck that he can turn on and off at will. Kind of like how Cypher has that crazy strong magnet in her plane that saved Jacob's car earlier in the movie when he drove it off a cliff. Jacob used the magnet to steal the Ares ball thingy, and Team Dom goes after him. Dom chases Jacob all over the place since he's ziplining everywhere, while Roman and Tej fight some bad guys in the truck, and Ramsey drives the truck around using magnets to mess up the bad guy cars. This is the part where F9 becomes a total cartoon. It just feels like cars are flying around, and there's all this magic technology, and realism just kind of went out the window completely. I remember back in the first Fast and Furious movie, where it's like a somewhat grounded film about street racing, and this is not that. It's a bunch of crazy nonsense, honestly. So they capture Jacob and everybody meets back up at the safe house. Team Dom welcomes Han back and they're all very happy to see him, and it's all like emotional and stuff since as far as they knew he was super dead after the events of Tokyo Drift. Turns out Han is the bodyguard for Elle since Elle's DNA is needed to activate the Ares thingy. They explain this like super convoluted retcon where actually it was the plan the whole time for Shaw's actions to help fake Han's death so Elle could be protected. See, this is all pretty transparent. You can really tell they didn't plan this at all, and whoever's in charge of the money was like, hey, screenwriter dudes, you gotta make it make sense and convince everybody that all the people in Dom's family are alive and good dudes and dudettes who can get over their conflicts and be cool with each other. That's your assignment. And I think the average person can see through it. Cypher's henchman Otto brings a bunch of dudes to the safe house and makes Team Dom free Jacob. Then Jacob reveals to Dom that actually their dad, since he was in a lot of debt, told Jacob to sabotage the car so he would throw the race, and things just went wrong in the process. See what I mean? The people who made this movie aren't actually dealing with the idea of what if someone in your family turns out to be a bad person, since that's too complicated and it doesn't fit with the fantasy world where magnets can make cars fly around and you can roll your car 20 times and come out without a scratch. This movie is officially going too far, even by Fast and Furious standards. It's all just a little too ridiculous. So the movie starts making moves towards the last giant action set piece by having Otto launch a big satellite into space and Jacob making Elle activate the Ares thingy and then moving around in an armored truck in a place called Tbilisi. I probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry. So Team Dom goes to stop Jacob and they have a chase for like 30 minutes and Otto and Cypher betray Jacob, so he turns on them and joins Team Dom. Then the craziest thing in the history of Fast and Furious movies happens. The Tokyo Drift guys in Germany put Roman and Tej in that car rocket thing and launch them into space. They go to space in a car. Ugh. For real? They go to space in a car and smash a satellite with it, then they float to a space station and their spacesuits are yellow, so when Roman and Tej wave to the space station guys asking for help, the space station guys are puzzled and say they look like minions from that kids movie series made by the same studio. I just don't know what to say to this. When a movie does this, it's called jumping the shark because it's so ridiculous and silly that it completely defies reality and breaks the viewer's immersion. I can't take any of this seriously anymore. Oh well. Anyway, the satellite broke and Jacob helped Team Dom and Cypher accidentally blows up Otto and Dom uses the armored truck to crash into Cypher's plane and blow it up, but turns out Cypher was operating the plane remotely from somewhere else, so I guess she's still alive. Roman and Tej come back down to Earth and all the good guys are back together again, and Dom and Jacob forgive each other and everything's good with Dom's family, and the movie ends. Whatever. This movie is not very good. It's just too silly. Also, it's insanely violent, so not for kids.